Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yes.
Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
Be crowned the back-to-school champion parent with a Sagicor Bank unsecured loan.
The time by Sagicor Bank is
the internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winfred Williams.
at a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
Where it all begins. The quest to become great. Inspired by those who went before them, these four boys dream of playing in the ISSA schoolboy football competitions.
Will you score this for Casey? Will you score? It's a shot! It's a goal!
And it's a shot, and it's a goal! And Casey has won the Manning Cup, and they will play Clarendon College in the Olivia Shield.
Every dream conquered is another dream gained. I land and I fly again like a jet plane. Headed straight in your direction. 'Cause I'm wiser, one step closer. I'm winning 'cause I work so hard. And the music hits I play, and the people them I say we are my show tonight. Oh, what a feeling! Don't stop dreaming. Keep on believing in the power of the feeling. Whatever you want, take a chance. Song in your heart, step in your dance. You got a spark, don't put it down. Shine your lights
Coming up in CVM News at 7, Golding announces shadow cabinet blending experience with freshness. Experts react. TikToker allegedly killed by armed robber. Croc sighting reignites conversation around animal cruelty. NEPA weighs in. In the business report, it's small biz, big dreams. And in sports, Nepal complete historic T20 series win over West Indies. From Kingston, Jamaica, this is CVM News at 7 for Monday, September 29, 2025. Thanks for having joined us. I'm Nika Lewis. Well, there are mixed reactions this evening to the opposition People's National Party's new shadow cabinet. The announcement was made Monday morning with several notable changes. The PNP says the appointments are aimed at strengthening its readiness to govern and providing robust oversight of the current administration. But commentators have concerns. Carla Ramdeen has the details.
Public Service, supported by Senators Ramon Ferguson and Lambert Brown. Peter Bunting takes on productivity, efficiency and competitiveness, with Senator Cleveland Tomlinson as deputy spokesperson. Dr. Dayton Campbell continues to shadow agriculture, fisheries and food security. In human development, Dr. Angela Brown Burke will oversee social protection, while Damian Crawford takes charge of education and early child development. Dr. Alfred Dawes is tasked with health and wellness, and Wavell Hines with the labor and sports. Denise Daly, gender, the elderly and persons with disabilities, and Kenneth Russell for rural and community development. Luthen Cousins will handle land, settlements and titling. Dennis Gordon, urban renewal and redevelopment. Mikhail Phillips will oversee transport and mining. Ian Hales will focus on water and special transport, and Omar Newell will focus on environment and climate resilience. Richard Azan will cover road and works, and Senator Floyd Morris will be responsible for housing and sustainable living. Governance responsibilities are also spread across the team, with Senator Donna Scott Motley covering for foreign affairs, Fitz Jackson on national security, and Natalie Nita Garvey on local government and participatory democracy. Zalika Jess will cover justice, and Aisat Buchanan for youth and human rights. The shadow cabinet will focus on 4 key areas: economic growth, human development, physical development, and governance. Social commentator Sandra Roden says there are some notable surprises.
There's a switch from national security, which of course Peter Bunting was Minister of National Security, was spokesperson on national security. Now it's Fitz Jackson that wears the hat of national security, which is interesting. For tourism and linkages, this one is quite interesting as well, because it's Andrea Perkis that takes on that role of spokesperson for tourism and linkages. I don't know much of her in that space. Probably there's more to learn as it relates to her own expertise and what she brings to the table. Of course, we see Zulika Jess coming in as spokesperson for justice, and that's an interesting addition as well.
He says the opposition leader's portfolio of constitutional affairs is interesting.
He takes on defense and constitutional affairs, which is interesting, which means that we should expect to see more of the leader of the opposition in relation to that conversation of constitutional affairs. You know, he has some perspectives as it relates to what we should do and how we should do it all at once, particularly in relation to our final court. Of course, there is a bit of an impasse there from both sides when it comes on to that key area of constitutional reform.
Political commentator Lloyd B. Smith sees the shadow cabinet as experimental, adding that it seems to be more focused on giving as many members of parliament some experience in governmental affairs, which he says poses some concerns.
I see where a number of newly named portfolios have been added. And this begs the question as to whether or not, if the PNP should form a future government, would it go the same route as the JLP in packing the executive with so many members of parliament who, in my estimation, should be out there focusing more on representational politics.
While Professor of Education Policy Canute Thompson argues the shadow cabinet provides a good use of members of parliament's talents, but he questions if they will deliver on their positions. He says there should be a manual on shadow subject matter.
Many of the assignees are returning to positions or subject matters they once shadowed. There are a few changes in relation to foreign affairs, for example, which I believe can be justified. I think the use of the number of first-time MPs, Burchell, Dawes, Hines, Brown, among others, reflect good use. Will they deliver? What are their tasks? What are the parameters? What are the deliverables? And I believe that that is something that the PNP needs to make very, very clear. What is this business of shadowing? And how do you deliver benefits to the community, to the country, by your evaluation of the performance of your counterpart and by holding him or her accountable.
Carla Ramdeen, CVM News.
The Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF, is drawing national attention to a concerning trend in suicide cases recorded across the island this year and reminds suicide is not solely a policing matter, but it says it's a broader public health and social challenge. We'll get back to that, but more information has emerged about the shooting death. In fact, it's been 2 years since a fire tore through the Musgrave Market in Port Antonio, Portland, gutting the historic structure and engulfing it, with reports of ground being broken on a newly renovated market in coming months. Our news team visited the site to gauge the concerns of the displaced vendors. Kevin Black has more.
We're now inside the Musgrave Market, the new one that is under construction, and we're speaking to some vendors about how the situation is unfolding.
The Musgrave Market in Port Antonio, Portland went up in flames on May 28, 2023, leaving around 200 vendors displaced and nearby businesses counting their losses. While temporary spaces were set up at the time, new developments have occurred and CVM News checked in to see how vendors are managing in the aftermath of the tragedy.
What I did, I start all over back again. I start from scratch and all of these things. It is slow now. I hope things will be better, but we just have to take it one step at a time.
Too much market. We have market up William Street, we have market up Harbour Street, we have market on the Market Piazza, market down the street side, and then around here just leave. People hardly know say even anything exists around here, so.
We no feel please, feel wagwan. You understand? The ground of the market, they see the dirty water. In front of the road.
We caught up with another vendor to capture his perspective, and this is what he said.
Yeah, I'm Arvel Harris, a vendor of the Port Antonio market, and since the market burned down, we have been going through a rough time. And they relocate us around here, around back of the market here. But we're complaining to them to make a sign out by the front there, out by Town Talk, to inform people about the opening around here. And until now, that done as yet. So we are going through a really rough time. Everybody are going through a rough time because since the market burned down, the people them are used to know in the market, then all they can find way. Some of them do find it, them say them never know say we still a sell around here and them thing they like because they never inform about it. So we're begging them to put a sign out there and until now they don't do that. So we are going through a rough time.
Some vendors expressed a desire for increased support from the Portland Municipal Corporation.
We're selling in a water when the rain falls. And we beg them several times here, if I want 5 bags of cement or 2 bags of cement, would I get like a gravel and fix, see if we can do it.
They make up these stall here, we are grateful for them, but at the same time, we hardly get any sale because of the extended market all around.
I think, especially, I'm speaking for the persons who are at the back of the market, way back of the market, they need light in there. There is no light in there, and it's really dark when it come on to 5, 6 o'clock. It's really dark. What they can do, even to make more tourist ship come in the harbor, want to come in the harbor, and they don't take them away and send them to Ochi and all that, because each time they come, you see big coaster out there lined up, so the vendors inside here, sometimes tourists don't come around here.
The vendors in Port Antonio are hoping the new Musgrave Market will meet their needs and expectations upon completion. Kevin Black reporting for CVM News.
CVM News at 7 continues right after the break.
Crunch your craving with the value menu from KFC. With combos starting at just $620. KFC, it's finger.
Hey everybody, I'm Yendi, and this is Odyssey with Yendi. In this space, we connect with some of your favorite people as they share their journeys. Here we have some unfiltered conversations as we deep dive into their inspirations, motivations, and experiences to inspire our own life journey.
Odyssey with Yendi, brought to you by Grace, Singer, and IslandNet Services.
And that's what you love to see. They may be rivals, but the camaraderie is what it's all about. Can't wait for the final.
Thanks so much for staying with us. As we told you earlier, the Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF is drawing national attention to a concerning trend in suicide cases recorded across the island this year and reminds suicide is not solely a policing matter, but it's a broader public health and social challenge. According to the JCF, between January and September 2025, a total of 44 suicides were recorded when compared to 53 cases for the same period in 2024. This represents a near 17% year-on-year decline. At face value, the authorities say this decline appears positive. However, the monthly breakdown reveals a troubling pattern. Suicides were consistently lower in the first 6 months of 2025 when compared with 2024, but the second half of the year has seen a reversal. July 2025 recorded 8 suicides, a 33% increase over July 2024, while August rose by 20% and September rose by 25% in comparison to the same months last year. The police statement indicates that the data also point to geographic shifts. In 2024, St. James, St. Elizabeth, St. Catherine South, and St. Thomas all reportedly recorded notable spikes. In 2025, however, St. Catherine North has been disproportionately represented, recording 4 cases in July alone. This, police say, underlines that suicide is not a uniform national issue, but often reflects localized socio-economic or community pressures. Added to that, gender continues to be a critical dimension. The overwhelming majority of suicides remain among males. However, the JCF notes there are indications that suicides among women, while still relatively low, may be edging upwards. The body shares this signals the need for urgent gender-sensitive interventions, as women's experiences with self-harm often differ and may be linked to domestic, relational, or social factors that require tailored responses. As law enforcement, the JCF says it recognizes that suicide is not solely a policing matter, but a broader public health and social challenge. The police are therefore calling on all relevant stakeholders, including public and mental health professionals, social workers, educators, community leaders, and faith-based organizations, to intensify their interventions. The JCF insists coordinated action is urgently needed to strengthen community resilience, provide counseling and support services, and respond effectively to the vulnerabilities that may be driving these increases. In recent weeks, teen suicide and suicide in general has commanded media attention, with a number of suspected victims, including 2 teenagers and a former Miss Universe contestant. If you or anyone you know may be finding it hard to cope, you may call the Jamaica Mental Health and Suicide Prevention Helpline at 888-NEW-LIFE. That's 888-639-5433. The NCDA helpline at 876-564-HELP. And remember, youth can chat free, confidentially, and anonymously with a You Matter counselor by texting the word support to YouReport at 876-838-4897 on WhatsApp And concerns in the environmental sector this evening that the country's crocodile population may be at risk. This after a video surfaced online of residents in a Kingston community attacking the species, one of many such incidents in recent times. Some viewers may find the following images disturbing.
This was in Seaview Gardens, Kingston over the weekend. Several similar videos have surfaced online in the past year alone. Environmental experts are concerned.
The crocodile is a dangerous animal. I won't come here and tell you that it's cuddly. However, our crocodiles are mostly shy. If you go close to them, they normally go away. They don't. If you look in the video, that crocodile was trying to find somewhere to go. And it don't look good when they say the animal, which is on our quarters arm, that was not doing anything to anybody, and then they're stoning it. Even if you don't like them, it don't look good.
Now, crocodiles are vital to Jamaica's wetlands as they regulate other animal populations, clean up waterways, and help maintain healthy mangrove ecosystems that protect coastlines and support biodiversity.
The species of crocodile found in Jamaica is the American crocodile, and it's found in 17 other countries around the Americas region. They're typically shy and reclusive by nature, so they're more likely to flee at the sight of humans than attack. And in Jamaica, we have the tagline, "Them rather run than rush you." So it is possible to safely coexist with American crocodiles.
The exact number of crocodiles island-wide is still being researched, but experts estimate there are fewer than 1,000, and that number is rapidly declining.
Natural wetlands such as Black River, Font Hill, Holland Bay, and other major rivers, we are seeing a decline in the population of crocodiles, which is very, very concerning. The adult crocodiles seen in that video, these crocodiles are mainly the ones being targeted, and we're seeing less of the adult crocodiles in the wild, which is having a very negative impact on the population and their recovery.
Crocodiles are protected under the Wildlife Protection Act since 1971. There was a recent revision of the act which introduced higher fines and harsher penalties. Now, if anyone is found guilty of harassing, harming, killing, or having in one's possession any part of a crocodile, whether dead or alive, you can be fined up to $3 million or face up to 3 years in prison. The National Environment and Planning Agency, NEPA, also says it has plans to strengthen its public education campaign.
Our education program has started, but I don't think it go wide enough. You ask a typical man about a fine or if he can get in trouble if he do something with the crocodile. He don't know. On the other hand, personally, I feel with the amount of stoning events and things that we tell people, leave the removal of the crocodile to the expert, and seeing an event like this, I believe that enforcement need to step up.
As for those Jamaicans who live in wetland areas,
people, if you are in an area where crocodiles live, do not just tie your goats at the water source. If you're bringing the goat there to get water, make noise and stuff, make the animal move away. If you are in this neighborhood, as we have seen in many cases, and the crocodile is in the drain, it's not troubling you, you won't fall in it, you have to learn to live with it.
NEPA is again urging residents to immediately report any crocodile sightings by calling 876-754-7540 or the nearest police station. Amoy Harriet reporting for CVM News.
More information has emerged about the shooting death of a Kingston-based TikTok influencer whose alias on social media is Jamie Warlock. Police reports suggest he met his demise after an armed man allegedly attempted to rob him at a river in porous Manchester Sunday. Tragedy tucked away in a section of nature that until now many considered a peaceful and serene space. St. Tully's River in porous Manchester tasted blood Sunday when shots rang out sometime after 2 in the afternoon. Locals called the police, who turned up assessing the scene that stained the community. The victim, unknown to residents, has since been identified as TikTok influencer LeVar Malcolm, 26 years old, of Kintyre District, St. Andrew. Many in his circle know him as Jamie Warlock.
I grew up in this community. I never hear no violence of no youth as grew up. Everybody just grew up hard working, no violence. Everybody just good. They're just all right. I never know of no violence in this community. So, if any violence going in here, I must out of here. You can walk any hours a night in this community and you don't have no problem with nobody. Yeah.
And you're saying the person here is
so he surprised me, you know. No, and this person who come here and he died here is not here he come from. And it's not nobody in the community know nothing about this.
Law enforcement say the now deceased was among a group of patrons along a section of St. Tulis River when he was approached by a lone gunman who demanded his property. The influencer allegedly resisted the attempt and was shot several times by the gunman in his upper body. The incident saw many of his followers expressing shock and grief on social media since, many overwhelmed by the sudden nature of his eternal absence. The local who spoke off camera broken by the incident but saddened by how that will now reflect on his community.
No need curfew because everybody is just cool and alright in the community. We just loving, we just alright. You don't afraid to walk nowhere in the community. You walk any hours, no matter how where you want to go in the community walk. Everybody just alright, just nice with one another. Nobody no do nobody no harm in the community. So it surprised me.
In other news now, Jamaica is already a leading destination in the Caribbean, but tourism officials say there's still room for growth. As the island prepares for the 2025 season, Jamaica Vacations Limited, JAMVAC, is widening its reach into new and emerging markets. Our reporter Akeem Oret tells us more about how this strategy could reshape the sector.
Product continues to attract thousands of visitors each year, with Latin America remaining a strong source market. But Executive Director of Jamaica Vacations Limited, JAMVAC, Joy Roberts, says the focus is now on diversifying with the new airlift and cruise arrivals from non-traditional destinations.
More on the European side, apart from Latin American, we're looking at the European side. And not only are we have Condor out of Frankfurt, we have Edelweiss out of Frankfurt, but we also have those carriers doing code-sharing. So we have the Emirates, as you know, code-sharing with Condor. We have Swiss Airlines code-sharing with Edelweiss, and we have China South code-sharing with lines out. So it's not just the existing lines we have, they're doing code sharing with new markets.
Roberts notes, however, while the island continues to attract visitors from Latin America, JAMVAC rarely taps into the North American market.
Because the traditional markets, it's an easy sell, because remember that even although North America is our big market, we haven't tapped into the number of Americans that you have traveling. So there's always room there. And those airlines understand that all they have to do is increase their marketing and their capacity to come here.
Industry players say such a move could mean greater resilience for the island's #1 foreign exchange earner, especially against global uncertainties. Roberts further states JAMVAC is working to increase airlift into Jamaica, especially with the new and emerging markets.
We could work very closely with the Jamaica Tourist Board because they're out there in the markets and that sort of thing. But what we do is we support them. So we're looking, you would have heard, at increasing the Latin American market and the South American market. So we've been working with Copa, has been here for a while, but they have increased flights. We also work with, we have coming up Avianca and some others that we won't name yet because we haven't finalized those agreements. And we're looking at other lines out of Latin America.
Akeem Oret, CVM News.
Jordan Fort joins us for a preview of sports.
Well, Nika, hate to say it, new low for the West Indies men's team, suffering yet another defeat to Nepal. Of course, you know, you don't really denigrate any nation, but Nepal beating the West Indies is something to write home about, and we've written about it. We've written about it because it was an embarrassing defeat for the West Indies. So we're talking about that. Of course, schoolboy football rolls on tomorrow, right here on CVM TV, and of course live and exclusively right here tomorrow. So we'll be telling you about which games we'll be playing, and the Jamaica Premier League. Of course, tonight, Monday, a big game for Jamaica Premier League, so we'll keep you up to date with the scores of that as well.
Indeed. Thanks, Jordan. But stay with us because CVM News at 7 continues after the break.
Rough. Every time the rain fall, the whole place wet up. I have to put the kids' them book in a bag until the place dry out. Ah boy, I couldn't afford a new roof. Then one day, Ross tell me about a grant I can get through the government. So I sent a letter to the ministry telling them wagwan. The officers came, them do them inspection where I was able to go to the hardware store, get the supply so my roof could have been fixed. I don't think I ever see my kids them smile so much yet. That means everything to me. The Ministry of Economic, Growth and Job Creation make my life better.
50 years of finger-licking good memories, yeah.
The time by KFC is 7:30.
Every dream conquered is another dream gained. I land and I fly again like a jet plane. Headed straight in your direction. 'Cause I'm wiser, one step closer. I'm winning 'cause I work so hard. And the music is to play, and the people them I say we are my show tonight. Oh, what a feeling! Don't stop dreaming. Keep on believing in the power of the feeling. Whatever you want, take a chance. Song in your heart, step in your dance. You got a spark, don't fit the dark, shine your lights
Thanks so much for staying with us. Rooted in tradition and blooming with dreams. In this evening's edition of Small Biz, Big Dreams, Raymond Morrison speaks to a florist who is breaking stereotypes and beautifying Jamaica through his small business, one plant at a time.
When you think of a florist, you probably imagine someone arranging roses and lilies behind a counter. But for one young man in St. Thomas, his journey into the world of flowers is rooted in family, culture, and a whole lot of passion. Jeffrey Burke is cultivating more than plants. He's growing a legacy. This is the story of Jeffrey's Flower Supplies. The vegetated aspect of St. Thomas provides the perfect backdrop for Jeffrey's Flower Supplies, a bustling oasis of greenery and blooms, where every petal tells a story. Jeffrey Burke didn't just stumble into this business. His love for flora is generational, passed down from his grandfather to his father, and now him.
Originally, it started with my grandfather and then passed on to my father, then passed on to me. But mainly it was just flowers, when I branched off into fruit trees. Someone who might know me as the grapes guy.
He admits he's an unlikely florist, breaking stereotypes while mastering the art of blooms and botany. From delicate edging plants to lush shrubs, he knows his stock like the back of his hand. And when it comes to bougainvillea, his eyes light up. It's both his best seller and his personal favorite.
Bougainvillea, it's quite, that's what my grandfather 100% can catch without rooting powder. Same thing with my father, same thing with me. So normally person have to use rooting powder. I can use rooting powder without, I can use it without it, and we can catch it 100, 200, even 1,000.
In today's digital age, marketing matters. Jeffrey has bloomed beyond his shop, racking up views and followers on TikTok, where he shares tips, tricks, and his plant-filled journey.
I wasn't sure whether what side I should hit it from, like how to market basically, how to market myself. So that was the hardest thing until I found it. Then I expand on it and use it as much as I could.
But his role goes beyond being a florist. He's deeply involved in both the creative and the business side, striking a balance between beauty and bookkeeping.
I have a genuine passion of growing the plants myself, but I can't always in the greenhouse. You have to out there making connection, you have to be behind the books, you have to run the numbers. So it took me a while for actually, even though I'm still figuring it out, but I'm slowly getting the hang of it.
For Jeffrey, flowers and plants aren't just about looks. They're about beautification and well-being. He believes every home and community deserves a touch of greenery to breathe life into their space.
Flowers itself bring beauty. It's not just about just planting, just seeing it, getting up every day, seeing our flowers bloom.
And his mission goes even further. His business also sells fruit trees, ground provisions, and exotic plants, helping to push Jamaica towards Vision 2030's dream of grow what we eat and eat what we grow.
And fruit trees now, we have to grow what we eat, because things are becoming very expensive. Even a grape right now, I look a bunch of grape, expensive, and by the time you eat it, it's done. I used to do straight flowers, then I started with grapes. Grape was the first fruit I ever set, and people asked for like mangoes, and people asked for like lychee, and then I just start to expand on that. I start to grow it myself. If I can't grow it myself, I outsource it. So I start to just branch off in different departments.
And this green thumb entrepreneur offers competitive pricing.
Range starting with like flowers would that be like from $500 up. So like edging type plants, fencing type plants. On the fruit side now would that be like $1,500 up. To the most it would be like 15,000. Yes. And those are big trees where you get fruit on it, so you basically get a ready done plant. So you don't have to do no work than just water it.
Jeffrey is also passionate about getting young people involved in farming, making agriculture appealing to the next generation.
I was invited to couple events with younger kids, teaching them how to grow plants, and troubled kids too as well, for showing them that farming, say again, is not for older people. Younger generation can do it too as well. So I started in that, but going towards the future, I would want to branch off more of keeping my personal event for younger generation or for kids.
Our walkthrough revealed a botanical treasure trove, from fencing and edging plants to exotic delights like the peanut butter plant, ice cream bean plant, and even dragon fruit.
So this right here is a peanut butter fruit. So just like this right here, when it bears, it's orange. When it ripens, it becomes red. And it tastes just like peanut butter. So for those with unique type, you like peanut butter itself, and you want a rare fruit tree, this right here says peanut butter fruit. And then right behind it, we have ice cream bean. So this right here, so when it bears fruit, you crack open the bean, and it tastes just like vanilla ice cream.
In a world where many dreams wilt before they bloom, Jeffrey Burke is proof that with roots deep in tradition and a vision for the future, small businesses can grow into something extraordinary. For Jeffrey Burke, every plant sold isn't just business. It's a piece of his family's legacy and a step towards a greener, more sustainable Jamaica. I am Raymond Morrison, and this has been Small Biz, Big Dreams.
Well, let's take a quick look now at social media.
So, what's getting reactions in social media today? A move by the Africana spiritualist non-profit Unichi Foundation, which is campaigning for the repeal of the Obeah Act, has caused Christian groups to push back, worried that a flood of demonic forces would be unleashed in Jamaica if the folk practice is legalized. Let's take a look at your reactions. At Kadeen, a daily comments, isn't Jamaica a Christian nation? Why is this even placed on the table for discussion? At Dark Feminine Consciousness says, I don't know why people